Today, I wanted to show you some very powerful navigation tricks to assigning parameters to be able to control just about anything on your Helix Stadium. So you can see here we are on Helix Stadium XL, and I've basically just assigned a simple amp cab block. It's all we need to showcase what we need to today to my signal path. So down here on our touchscreen, we know we can scroll around and we have the parameters. Now, what some people may not realize, there's a couple different ways to control these parameters. Obviously, we can use our encoders, but we can also long press them. And what's going to happen is it's going to open up this little controller assignment dialog at the bottom, and we can control which parameter we want to assign to a controller. So right from here, I could go to any of my amp parameters and assign them to a controller. So if we just wanted to assign, let's say, a whole bunch of different parameters to different foot switches, I could come in here and say, I want my drive on stomp A1. You notice here that it pops up as drive. Then I move to bass and I want that on stomp A2 and so on and so forth. And we can set the type and we can set the minimum and maximum values that we want those to go to when we press that. So you notice I set bass to be minimum value of 5.3, maximum of 7.7. So every time I press that, if we come back over to our amp, you're going to see that now the bass control bounces back and forth between those parameters. And you'll notice here that I didn't set any minimum and maximum on the drive, so it is simply bouncing between 0 and 10. Now, obviously, I can come in here and change that very quickly. Go back over and you'll see that that now bounces back and forth between that. I can also quickly tap on any of the parameters and I could clear the controllers from that parameter as well if I so desire. So now we're set up back to default here without any assignments, but there is another way we can do this that some may not realize. Any parameter we want, let's say the drive parameter, we can just quickly tap it. Now, we've seen this before where with a quick tap, we can get a larger touchscreen bubble here to be able to control this parameter. But you'll also notice here, it's easy to miss, there's two other little circular adjustments here that are at present grayed out. And the reason is because this particular parameter is not assigned to a controller. So we have a couple of ways of doing this. We could simply come in and say learn controller. And by doing that, I could go up to whatever foot switch or expression pedal I want. And by simply pressing that, I've now assigned this particular parameter to that particular stomp that I decided to assign it to. Now, if I come back in here and quickly tap this, you'll now notice that we have minimum and maximum settings up here, and I can very quickly assign my minimum and maximum so that when I press this, it's only going to be bouncing between those two settings. So we can really start to think how useful a feature that this can be. I can also clear the controllers from here, or I could always use the way I showed before where I long press and I set that to whatever I would like to hear, whatever stomp, and you'll see that it's moving around in real time as I do that. Or I could set it to the expression pedal if I so desire. So really, really handy stuff. So remember, we can either do a long press here to open up this assignment dialog along the bottom, where if we want to make a lot of assignments and we already know what those are going to be, we can do it from here. Or we can just do a quick tap on any particular parameter, learn controller, assign that by either moving expression pedal, tapping a foot switch. You'll notice that the parameter I assigned now becomes lit up white instead of red. That's telling you that it is assigned to a controller of some sort. And then we could come back in here and set our minimums and maximums that quickly and effortlessly to be able to control parameters exactly how we want. So I hope that showed you a few things that maybe you didn't realize were possible. And I hope that it helps you to use your stadium in a more efficient manner. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please like the video, share it with anybody you think would get some use or enjoyment of watching it. Also, please subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell notification. You get notified when I put new content out. Loads more content coming about Helix Stadium, along with some presets that are going to be coming up in the very near future. So keep your eye out for those. And as always, check out my presets that I have up on Line 6 Marketplace as is for the Helix and HX Stomp, Podgo, etc. And I hope you enjoy those. And it's a little way that you can help support the content that I do here on the channel. I do appreciate it. Thanks again so much for tuning in. We'll talk very soon. Ciao for now.